Hey, plumbing bros. Welcome to Potty Talk Live, where we take it into the trenches, the crawl spaces, basements, kitchens, and baths, all around this big, beautiful world of ours to talk to plumbing professionals just like you. Hey there, I'm Richard Behney, the $1 Million Plumber, coming at you live from Command Central here in beautiful Indianapolis, Indiana, where we're having a great Tuesday. How about you? You having a great day? This is kind of like the Monday. It's one of those, we're coming off a holiday weekend. You know, did you have a good Memorial Day weekend? We did. Hey, the lovely Laura's in the house.
Hi.
Hey, baby, how you doing?
Great.
We had a great weekend.
It was wonderful. Great weather.
Great weather here. How about you? Did you guys have great weather? You did? You know, give us a thumbs up, or if you just had a good time. And we took time to also thank the men and women. I know, men and women. And families that make it possible for us to do the things that we love to do, like love plumbing. And this weekend we loved eating, did some eating. How about you? What you guys eat? I know I ate too much. We got to get back at the club here, you know, get back on it here. You know, it matters. You know, as my daughter says, no fatty daddy, you know, so got to watch how you look. It's important on how you look. And especially for your plumbing business, it's important on how you look, because customers judge a book by its cover. You know, they do. I know it doesn't sound fair and it's not right, or PC or whatever you want to get into. But the fact is, customers judge a book by its cover, and they're judging your plumbing company by how you look. By what I mean by how you look, you know, how your logo looks, or, you know, how the marketing materials that you hand out looks, even, you know, how your invoices look. Okay. All those kinds of things, how your website looks and feels. Those things are extremely important. And look, I get it. You know, we're plumbers. We're not graphic designers, but you don't have to be. All right. You don't have to be. You don't have to be a graphic designer. Laura and I, the lovely Laura, even though she's very talented, you know, we're not graphic designers either. But that's why we choose Design Crowd. And we use Design Crowd for all of our graphic needs. It's like having our own graphic design department under our roof without, you know, all the extreme costs. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree.
I mean, it saved us thousands and got us great work. All you do, it's so easy. And that's the beautiful thing about it. Okay. You don't need some kind of special degree or something, or, you know, it's not technical. You just simply create what they call a brief, which is a job. You tell them what you want to have done. And as soon as you do that, you'll start receiving unique designs from around the world, literally from around the world within hours. Then all you do is simply select and approve your favorite design. It's that simple. You're done. Okay, you've got a top-notch professional design at a fraction of the cost. All right, simply go to www.themilliondollarplumber.com/design crowd to get started today, because you're a professional plumber. Shouldn't you start looking like one? All right, I know you're good looking. All right, like our guest. I mean, you're a good looking guy. All right. Boy, that sounds strange or creepy. Does that sound creepy? Okay, I'm the $1 Million Plumber, not the creepy plumber. All right. Okay, all right. Hey, I have something else for you too before we get started here with our guest. I can't wait to bring this guest on. I mean, he looks fun. He is fun. Checking out his stuff on YouTube, you know, and it's going to be a fun guest. But hey, before we get him on, he's going to be on here any minute here. In just a minute here, I want to get something into your hands. My free copy of the 7 Must-Knows to be a $1 Million Plumber. Okay, and the key word there, free. All right, so it doesn't cost you anything. No strings attached, no catch. I just want you to have this because there's 7 things you've got to know, 7 principles you must know to be a success in this plumbing business, in this plumbing business game. All right, you got to know these things. So I made it very easy for you to get them. I put them down in this report. And, you know, it's nice, easy to read. Okay. You know, I'm not necessarily the sharpest tool in the shed. And, but I was able to, you know, I can read, you know, so it's that kind of, so it's very easy to read, and it's free. All right. So just type free in the comments, and, you know, you're looking to do your thing, you know, your cat with a plumbing license, and you got a plumbing truck, and you got a plumbing dream. All right. Plumbing business dream. You got to know these things. So get it. All right. Get this free report. Hey, let's get our guest in here. We got Tim Johnson, who's a journeyman for Tucker Plumbing, among other things. All right, out of Melbourne, Florida. Hey, brother Tim, you ready to rock Potty Talk Live?
Oh, yeah. How's it going there, Richard?
We're doing great, brother. We're doing great. Glad to get you on here. I know you said right before we started the show, you know, you're working hard, of course, and we're in an area that you didn't have much coverage, so you must be out there a little bit in Florida.
I was sweating it actually. I live in town and stuff, but we do have some rural areas, and I just happened to be on a call that had absolutely no internet service. So, and it was like 10 minutes before I had to get on the show, and I'm trying to get somewhere where I got at least a couple bars, and I made it.
And then how it goes. Well, now just catch your breath and relax. Been looking forward to having you on. And hey, we're going to have a good time here. But before we get on to the plumbing stuff, which is the cool stuff, and you got some cool stuff headed in that area as well. Hey, tell us a little bit about yourself. What you do when you're not plumbing.
Well, Richard, that's a good question because I find myself plumbing almost all the time. My wife and I, we live literally about 90 minutes away from Disney, so we're annual pass holders. We go out there all the time, and as well as our older daughter lives down in West Palm Beach, which is about an hour and a half away, and she lives on a golf course, so it's an excuse to go down and visit.
There we go, man. Hey, I can relate to that. I grew up. Just a little sidebar here. I grew up in Winter Park, Florida, and so. I was
right where it's at.
And I was in elementary school when Disney opened, so he lets me know. It gives a little bit of my age out there.
You're showing your age now.
When the world opened, and we used to go when the folks get home after work. We would go in the evenings and walk around when you had the tickets. I don't know if you went when they had the D and had to pay with a ticket, and it was the e-ticket was the big good ride.
I remember that, but it's just been kind of recently that we really started to the last couple of years that we've been annual pass holders, just because just life and so busy and stuff, and we just had to commit ourselves to say, you know what, we got to put everything aside and put some us time, and that's how we enjoy our time away from the everyday.
All right, brother. Hey, you just dropped a huge nugget of gold there, for the guys, and even outside of plumbing. Plumbing is very good, and you got great living, and we're going to talk about that, and you can make great money, and it's a great trade, and it's a secure trade to be involved in, but there's more than life than just plumbing, and so, yeah, you got to take some us time, and that's good advice right there.
Absolutely. And, I'll tell you what, it's so easy from day to day to find yourself just getting wrapped up in the same thing. And of course, life is about, unfortunately, making money and a living. So you have to keep focused on that no matter what it is. But in the same sense, you're going to get old really fast if you don't take some time for yourself.
That's exactly right. The lovely Laura and I always had, we've had our plumbing businesses now, for pushing 25 years and working together 24/7. But we always, and hey, it's fun. Like you said, you're working plumbing all the time. It can be fun, especially when you love what you're doing and you're trying to help your customers and help others and all that kind of jazz. But we took a date night every Friday night. Every Friday night. We've done that for years. And we're
absolutely. And that's the thing is whatever works for you. My wife. Miss Katie, she works in the health field. She is a disabled American veteran, Army veteran, but she works full time for a large health facility here in the area. And I'll tell you what, without her, I'm nothing. Let's put it that way.
There we go, brother. No, that's a wise man talking right there. You just lay down another nugget of gold. I know as men, and the plumbing trade's largely men, and we can get out there with the best of them, right? And we're all good. But I'll have to say too, and it's not just because the lovely Laura's sitting right here. Those who know us more directly will know who the brains and who's really behind everything, behind all the success. And so, yep, I'm nothing without my lovely wife as well. And thank you, Miss Katie, for your service. And way to go, man. So, hey, well, great, a lot of good information there. But let's get on to plumbing. All right, let's talk.
Let's do it.
Well, how'd you get into plumbing?
Well, it's funny that you asked that, Richard, because as you had mentioned earlier, I do have my own YouTube channel that I started about 8 months ago, and I just happened to put a video out about a week or two ago on how I became a plumber. And actually, if you'll go on and check it out, it's a better story watching the video. But I will tell you, I started off out of high school, and started working as a maintenance technician at a condo association. And that, my friend, if I was to give any advice to any of these young up and coming guys that want to get into this trade, it's not a bad idea to take a year and go find a job as a maintenance technician, because that is where you're going to find so many useful things: hand-eye coordination, people skills, and you're going to learn a little bit about everything. And in that period of time, it's very possible you might find yourself in the trade that you want to be. It could be HVAC, electrical, plumbing, whatever it is. But I'll tell you what, it's really going to get your head and your eyes and everything that you need, get yourself started in the right direction.
There we go. Great advice, man. I told you this cat was going to be dropping nuggets of gold. All right. That's good advice there. Just get in. To be honest, I kind of started that way too, on the maintenance side of things. And you mentioned even just dealing with people, not just having to be in the mechanical stuff, but having to deal with people, and there's a lot to learn there. So,
I'm glad that you said that, and to just follow up with that as well. Doing the kind of work that I do and being in plumbing and stuff. One of the things of working for the company I work for, Tucker's Plumbing, is the fact being that this guy has been in business since 1934. One of the oldest companies in the entire area. He's only one of 3 companies in this area of Central Florida that made it through the Great Depression. We're a full warehouse, full storefront, full service, everything. Got people that come from miles and miles around, because he's got this East Central Florida's largest porcelain boneyard, and those parts and plumbing parts that nobody else can find all come to him.
There we go. And a niche right there. You just mentioned something there. It's important too, is niching it down. We have one of those in our city as well. It's the cat that's been around forever that decides to kind of keep all the stuff, and it's where we all go to when we need that, that weird color tank lid or that faucet part or whatever. the guys.
I'm telling you, Richard, you walk into the warehouse and he has at least, I'd say 2,000 to 3,000 different toilet lids, just the toilet lids. Around back of the place has got to be at least 100 toilets from the 1940s all the way up. He's got 3 semi-truckloads that are packed full of toilets, pedestal sinks, the largest porcelain boneyard on the east coast of Florida.
Man, all right, that's cool stuff, man. So what's your hey, I want to get before we forget, what's your YouTube site address?
All you have to do is go to Plumbing with Tim, not Plumbing by Tim, Plumbing with Tim, and go check it out. And I hit the subscribe button. I put 3 videos a week out. By no means I will ever try to come across as somebody that knows everything, because we're all learning here. But the reason why I started the channel about 8 months ago is because I get customers all the time that ask me questions, and just got to the point I said, you know what, I'm going to start a YouTube channel, and I'm just going to start every single week putting videos out on how-tos, and this way I can direct the traffic for the most part over and see a hands-on video on how to fix something, or the basics, or product reviews. It's pretty good, so I appreciate you go checking it out.
Yeah, hey guys, do that. It's just I do, consulting and talk with guys at all different levels, and we're all at different levels. And you said something, we're all learning. We all don't know everything. And no matter what level you're at, you're always learning something new. So it's just wise, and it's intelligent, and it creates you're a winner if you understand that I still need to learn something. So all in those situations. So be open-minded with that. And also be always, look at these different groups and these different, things here. That's what, Potty Talk Live, I hear guys, you learn from some of the, all the different guests. There's always a nugget of gold that you can learn that just seemed like was specifically for you. Or, I remember being on the job, and, I had the guys that I would follow on YouTube. If I didn't know how to do a certain thing, I would go to the site and check it out, and they would have a video for that kind of a thing. So here we got a guy right now that's, it's taking the time to do that. And so you guys, put that, that address in your phone, and you're out on that job, and you could be able to find out you may have just what to fix that you're looking to have done. So,
Richard, it's really tough too. A lot of people think, oh yeah, just go throw some videos out there, and people are going to come watch it. Listen, right. When plumbing really lands underneath of what do you call it? Home improvement. So by putting this channel out, this plumbing channel, Plumbing with Tim, I'm competing against guys like This Old House and stuff that are sponsored. Right. But go check it out. On to you.
Yeah, there we go, guys. Do it. All right, let's support our brothers out there working, and getting it done for us. All right. Hey, so Tim, what do you say? What is your specialty? What do you enjoy about plumbing, or what's your thing? What are you an expert at?
Well, I'll tell you what, Richard. I will take that in context and tell you that I don't consider myself to be an expert at anything. I consider myself to be pretty darn good at a lot of things. What I really specialize in over the years, because I've been doing this for well over 20 years, is working in the service end of this industry. It's tough. And if these guys that want to get out there and say, like, oh, I want to be a service plumber, well, I'll tell you what, you better do your homework, and you better learn how to do a little bit of everything, and not just be a one-trick pony. And really, you have to focus on your PR skills, because when you go to a customer's house, everybody is different. You're always going to have to approach people in a certain way and be on their level. And don't forget, you don't want your customer to lose confidence in you. If you lose confidence, they lose confidence in you, you just lost the job. You sell yourself, you sell the job, and the person is not just buying your work, they're buying you. So you got to keep that in mind, and I love it, and I thrive on it each and every single day.
Great advice there, brother. Hey, I hope you guys are listening, especially you young guns. All right. Tim's really dropping some nuggets of gold here. I want to put Tim on the spot here. Tell us a mistake that we make when we're dealing with our customers, that something that we do or say that makes them lose confidence in us.
Very good question. And being on the spot like that, the first thing you want to make sure to not do is show up to a job and the customer's looking over your shoulder and say something like, huh, I never seen that before. And then they see you walk outside and get on YouTube or something. You just lost the confidence.
The lovely Laura over here is cracking up. That's what's right.
Listen, when you show up to someone's house, before I even get out of my van and stuff, I kind of look at the area. I kind of know, all right, well, these guys are on septic or they're on well water and stuff. So I get my head together, get my tools together and stuff like that. I get to the door, I knock on the door, and you got to present yourself. It doesn't matter if you're having a bad day or that person is in a really bad mood because, their house is flooded. You got to keep people calm and collective and come in there and be confident in what you do, and let the customer know that and see that you have confidence in what you're doing. Even if you're not quite sure, you can't ever drop the idea that you're not really sure what's going on.
Exactly right. It's like just imagine having a doctor. You're in the operating room, and right before they put you under, and the doctor says, "Huh, I've never seen that type of."
It's the same thing with plumbing, with service plumbing. Now, I don't just do service plumbing as well. Working for one of the oldest companies in town, we actually are one of the only companies in this area that specializes in old plumbing. Okay, nobody wants to go do it. I find myself almost every other day on the business end of a jackhammer, busting up floors and ripping out old cast iron, or crawling through an attic, repiping, doing all that stuff. But I also do a lot of the technical work for the company too, like the sewer camera inspections, the leak detections, the estimates, you name it. So it's a great plethora, and the reason why I haven't gone out and started my own job, because I really don't care to get in on the business end of things and have to worry about the money and paying the bills and my employees, because my boss takes good care of me and he keeps me busy enough where that's good enough for me.
There we go. Hey, we all need, not everybody, as we were talking about, Potty Talk Live is, and what I'm about, is talking with the guys of starting your own plumbing business, And, of course, I'm all about that. And especially on the service side of things, residential service is where the opportunity is at. Lots of customers, lots of opportunity, lots of money. It's just an easier way to start with nothing and to create a lot, literally create a, $1 million business.
My hat's off to every one of you guys out there that are out there starting your own business. If I was 20 years younger and knew what I knew now, it might be a little bit different story. But, I'm really... I'm happy and I'm at peace with myself. And I'll tell you what, I definitely do not have to worry about looking for a job, because I'm pushing 50 to 60 hours a week as it is. And that's outside of doing my YouTube videos.
There we go. And you remind me, I just was going to say something here to the lovely Laura, that that Tim here reminds me of, my good buddy, who's just, a lot of the mannerisms, your beard, and your thing is a lot like him. And he didn't start his own business either, but the guy knows everything. I mean, he is, he's humble like you. I'm not an expert. I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I know a lot about a lot of different things. And companies need that. And that's what really makes the company great. So no, my hat's off to the guys too that just know, hey, I don't want to worry about the money side of things. I just, I got your back here. I'll get the cattle of the town. I'll get the cattle of the town for you, and you sell them. That kind of a thing. So
I will tell you, add real quick with you, Richard, that when I did join this company years ago, I did bring up to my boss, which God bless his heart, he's 81 years old and he's still sharp as a tack. I asked him, I was like, well, don't you have a camera to do these the sewer cameras inspection? And he's like, huh? What do you mean? So I talked him into seriously. I talked him into buying one. He sprung up off the money to buy one, and I'll tell you what. Just in this past year alone, in sales, from me doing sewer camera inspections, it's been almost $2 million just by running a sewer camera and selling jobs.
There we go. You guys hear that? You got to have the equipment, use the tools, to check things out. It helps educate the customer. I know where you're going with that, Tim. I mean, those kinds of things, work out great. So
knowing how to upsell the customers, knowing how to upsell, but do it in a nonchalant way. You don't want to be pushy with your customers. Okay, nobody wants to, whatever. But I'll tell you what, if you're at it for long enough, the biggest thing that I'd have to say to anybody that wants to get into this industry is, first of all, you got to show up to work every single day, and you got to learn things and pay attention, and don't be a butthead when it comes to working with a guy that's trying to teach you.
There we go. That's right. Right. No snowflakes. No. There's no crying in plumbing. Nope. And there is a thing. You just kind of go with the flow and listen. And the young guns. There is all kinds of opportunity, and especially on the service side. But there is you got to learn some things. So. Hey, so we talked about things that you're good at. You're good at a lot here. But I'm going to ask you to be a little transparent here. Not that you haven't been, but what is something that you struggle with within plumbing that just, you show up for, but it just always has you, a little bit every day?
I'll tell you what, and I might get a little bit of hate from this, but I'm going to be completely 100% honest because I was waiting for you to ask me that. My biggest problem that I have when it comes to plumbing, it doesn't matter if I'm working for Tucker's Plumbing or any company that I've worked with, is the fact being is motivation when it comes to other employees. And it's not about talking people down. I'm not an overachiever by all means, but I do have standards that I set for myself to reach every single day. And when I come to work and I've got a mind full, ready to happen and to go have a good day, and then you see guys that call out from work, or they show up and they're in a bad mood, or they got a hangover, they're pounding sand. And, don't let people get to you. Always stay focused. Opportunity to make the money and be motivated. It doesn't mean you're going to wake up wanting to do the same thing every day, but you got to show up and you got to at least start somewhere.
There we go, brother. Man, great advice. And no, it's not hateful. And there are going to be those guys, but look, this is professional plumbing. Professional plumbing. This isn't little boy, living in mom and daddy's basement playing Call of Duty at the age of 30 plumbing. Okay. Did I take it too far, sweetheart? Can you tell there's a little history there?
That's funny.
This is professional plumbing, and the opportunity is huge. That's why, that's where our heart is. That's why we're doing this program and doing the consulting and other things, is because the opportunity is huge in this industry for men who want to take advantage of it. No one's going to take our jobs. Robots aren't going to take our jobs. On the service side of things, no one wakes up in the morning and wants to call a plumber, but they do. They call a plumber and they want to get it done. They love their home. And if they understand and they trust you and you educate them and you feel eager to take care of them, to serve them. You serve that customer. You don't have to sell the customer. I think you were touching on this, Tim. You don't have to sell the customer. Just serve the customer, and they'll just hand the work and money over to you. And it is that simple if you have the right, just like you said, Tim, if you come at it in the right frame of mind. We've seen a lot of those guys in our shops, and they don't last long. Those are the guys that you see going from shop to shop and whining and complaining, and they show up every day. When they do show up, something's wrong, something hurts. Right.
Well, I'll tell you what, to reiterate that real quick, because I don't want to run on your show too long, but I'll tell you one of the biggest things that I really focus on. Now, there might be a lot of opinionated things said about this, whatever, but real quick to hit back on my Plumbing with Tim YouTube show. Every other week, I put out a show called Tailgate Tuesday Roundup. And what that is, and a lot of people ask me, like, well, what's that got to do with plumbing? Everything. I pull over on the side of the road, and I bring a backpack with me with a small camp stove. And I bring a healthy meal that I prepped the night before, and I cook it on the side of the road on the tailgate of my van, and I show technicians. It don't have to be a plumber, HVAC, electrician, cable guy, don't matter. Instead of going out and eating garbage every single day, the McDonald's, the Burger King, and all this other stuff. That's why a lot of you service technicians are overweight and you got back problems and knee problems. Right. Hey, listen, save that stuff for at home. But while you have to be active during the day, try to eat something healthy. And that's why I put those little videos out, just to show you how quick and easy it is and how inexpensive and healthy it can be.
And way to go, brother. Way to go. Because it's game, it's game day every day. It's Absolutely. Game day every day. And just like professional athletes, I mean, we're professional plumbers, and you got to bring the game, and you got to be, physically ready to, to play the game, and you got to have the right fuel in you to play the game. I get it. You probably hear me often talk about, I love Taco Bell, that was my thing, and, but I wound up saving, the runs for the border, for Fridays, every so often on Fridays,
Hey, there's nothing wrong with treating yourself. Trust me. It's like you said, it's a habit, and so many of these guys get into the habit of doing the same thing day after day after day. It's not just not good for you. It also, the carbs, they slow you down. After lunch, you don't want to do anything. It's the same thing. This is a tough industry. Going home and killing a 12-pack of beer and then waking up with the brown bottle flu, and now it's taking you until lunchtime to get your head straight, and then you're throwing all these carbs in your body, so the whole day has just gone down the drain. When you have to get yourself into a habit, I'm not talking about eating tofu and rice cakes and stuff like that. Just pay attention and try to keep focused and motivated, and things will work out for you.
There we go, man. Great advice. A lot of wisdom there, nuggets of gold there. Hey, Tim, we're going to let Tim catch his breath there. We're going to bring him back for the lightning round. We're going to find out why his nickname is Cherokee. All right. So we're going to figure that out here. But as we've been talking about, service plumbing, and, it's important with our customers. It's difficult to get customers and serving our customers. But once we get those customers, the last thing we want to do is lose our customers because, we double book them. All right. Or we, this happens, they fall through the cracks, or you forget about them. Try telling a customer you forgot about them. You've lost that customer. Those are customer killers. All right. But with Jobber, okay, with Jobber plumbing service management software, you can get rid of those customer killers. All right. It makes it easy for you to schedule your customers, makes it easy for you to dispatch your calls and to keep track of your guys. So as you start growing, it makes it easy to do that. Jobber even makes it easy for your customers to pay you. And guys, that's what it's all about, all right, to get paid. With Jobber, you save time, you save money, you save customers. And right now, you can try Jobber free for 14 days and receive 20% off your first 6 months. Okay, guys, that's a deal. Check it out. Go to www.themilliondollarplumber.com/jobber, all right, to get your free 14-day trial and 20% off your first 6 months. Okay, you and your customers will be glad you did. There you have it. And speaking about making it easy for customers to pay you, one more thing here for you. You want to make it easy as possible for your customers to pay you. And with Square, you do just that, okay? With Square payment processing, you simply swipe their card, and the money is in your account as soon as the next business day, all right? Can you say cash is king? That's what it's all about. They simply swipe their card and you get paid. It makes it easy for the customer to pay you. And signing up for Square is free. You pay only when you make a sale. There are no monthly or hidden fees. And you pay the same for all major credit cards. All right. There's no hikes or ups and downs, no playing games there. All right. And right now you'll receive free processing up to $1,000 in credit card transactions on your first 180 days. All right. Can you say money in the bank? Say it. Money in the bank. For details, go to www.themilliondollarplumber.com/square and start swiping today. There you have it. Some good tools there for you. Use them. Get them. Use them. All right. Hey, let's get Tim back in here. And my question is, Tim, as we were leaving there, I was asking, we want to find out, how'd you come up with the nickname Cherokee Woods?
That's a good question, Richard. When you messaged me and you said, I just can't find your Facebook page, it's because it's not under that anymore. Real quick story. All these years of doing plumbing, I've also been a musician, an active musician for the past 25 years, playing out in bands, thousands of people, hundreds of shows and stuff. And it got to the point where I just was getting bothered so much by so many people. And I decided to just close out my Facebook account and start a new account. Now, where the word Cherokee is because I drive a 1999 Jeep Cherokee to work every single day that I bought brand new in 1999. It doesn't look the same way. It's got big tires and, all that good stuff on it. And, I like hanging out in the woods, so it only makes sense. Cherokee Woods.
Here we go. It's fun to hear those stories, how people come up with stuff and have fun. Yeah. All right. And that's right. Another musician, all these guys around the world, all these plumbers that are musicians. What do you play?
I specialize in the guitar, Richard, but just about anything, you name it.
There we go. All right. Yeah, you're going to meet our Aussie friend, Glenn. Yeah, Glenn Murray.
Nice.
Yeah, Plumber's Crack or whatever. Yeah, he puts his music out. It's just fun. These guys that just, playing in bands and, they do it for fun. And, it's just, that's cool stuff. Well, good for you, man.
If you think that the plumbing industry is tough, try being a musician because there's no mercy.
I get you. We got a history there. Yep. So we're going to that. Yeah. All right. We got some rock and roll in us. All right. Let's hit the lightning round. All right. I think I always want to ask this. Ask all the guests, what's holding you back from starting your own plumbing business?
Well, I kind of hit on that a little bit earlier, Richard. The fact being is the company I work for, I've been working for them for quite some time. Since being in business since 1934, we don't do any kind of advertising whatsoever. The phones just never stop ringing. Everybody in town knows us. We do work for the city. We do work for all the large businesses, realtors, the mayor, you name it. I have to actually tell the boss at the end of the day, look, I'm tired. I need to go home. If not, he'll work me around the clock. And, I'm compensated quite well. And like I had mentioned before, I really, at this point in my life, I don't want to end up having to worry about the business end of things. I'm happy working with a company that has a really great reputation, and I never have to worry about work.
There we go. All right. Nope. Understood. Very good. Hey, next, are you a flat rate guy or a time and material guy? And tell us why.
Well, I'll tell you what, because I do a lot of service work, I'd have to say flat rate. I charge customer X amount of money for showing up to their house, plus the materials, and that's the way it is. Now, I have worked for companies that are time and materials and stuff. We actually do time and materials when we do like large remodels or, sewer replacements. And it's time and materials. People are like, well, how much money is this going to cost? Well, I really can't tell you. It's going to be time and materials at that point.
There we go. Get it. All right. Hey, share a personal habit that sets your day up for success.
First of all, making sure to wake up and giving my wife a kiss. That puts me. All right. And, making sure that, you stay focused. I've got three things. You got to wake up. You got to be focused. You got to be motivated, and you got to look for opportunity. These are the things I try to set myself up for success every single day. Not every day you're going to end up having that fairy tale day where everything just falls together into one piece, because we know that's not how the real world works. But if you keep yourself and your expectations, lined up, and you don't put yourself out there to fail, because if you try to set your expectations too high, you're not going to reach them. So, and make sure to show up and say good morning to everybody. It goes a long ways instead of showing up and I don't feel like being here.
Good advice, man. Very good advice.
You know?
So what's a piece of software or tech gadget or even a plumbing tool that helps you do your job that you would recommend?
Go ahead.
That you would recommend for others to use?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm not a huge tech guy per se. I'm still a lot old school. I'm on my smartphone and on my computer and stuff like that. I'm sure there's people that are going to be in the comments that got a lot better answers than me. But in my line of business and what I do, let me explain. Another reason why I have my YouTube channel is because it keeps me in plumbing all the time. My tech gadgets I use is my GoPro camera, and I also have a DJI drone that I use. And that's techy enough for me. And I have a great time doing it. And while I'm doing it, I'm plumbing.
All right. There we go. A good drone. All right. Cool stuff. Yeah. All right. We got a good friend that builds those on his own, right? And flies them around and has the headset and everything. Cool stuff. All right. Hey, man, this has been great, Tim. But before we let you go, I got one last question for you. What's the best advice that you've ever been given?
Don't bite your fingernails. Somebody already got.
No, that's right. Yeah, that's been used a lot.
Sorry about that. Actually, the best advice that I was given when it comes to the plumbing industry, I think I hit on it just a little while ago, is listen, first and foremost, and I tell people all the time this, you have to show up to work every single day. I understand that there's, emergencies and this and everything. And an old man told me that. He says, you're never going to be successful at anything if you don't show up to work. Everything after that, you'll take care of it.
Oh, there we go. Did we lose him? There we go, Tim. There we go.
You bet.
All right. Yeah, we got you right there. All right.
Back on. So that was actually my office call and wondering where in the heck I am. Anyways, really quick to finish that up is, you have to
live. That's right.
You
Go
have
ahead.
to be. You still there?
Yeah. Yep. Here we are. Go ahead.
Okay. So real quick to wrap things up with me and my blabbering about plumbing. The best advice I ever got was make sure to show up to work every day and pay attention, because if you open your mouth up and you start running it, or you're sitting learning nothing. So that's the best thing that I ever was given as advice, and that's really helped me become the person I am today.
There we go, man. Great. That's what we. Yep, that's right. The lovely Lord just reminded me that's what we always told our kids. Show up. That's like the first most important thing to do. I mean, you'll beat 95% of the people by just showing up.
Absolutely.
There we go, man. Great nuggets of gold, Tim. Man, this has been great. Hey, and what's that YouTube channel again? Guys, you want to check this out, where the guys can check you out at?
Plumbing with Tim.
Plumbing with Tim. And we're going to put that up on the banner. Let's run that across here while we're getting ready to close here. Hey, but Tim, hey, been great. Thank you for being on Potty Talk Live. A lot of good stuff there, brother.
It's my pleasure, Richard, and I appreciate you listening to me blab out about plumbing for a while, and looking forward to talk to you again sometime.
Hey, look forward to it, man. We'll do it soon. All right, brother. Take care.
Thanks.
All right. Hey, there we have it, gang. Mr. Tim Johnson out of Melbourne, Florida, and he's a lead journeyman for Tucker Plumbing, and also check out his YouTube site there as well. Just a lot of good stuff there. So, man, that was a great show. Great guest. Hope you guys, hey, you can catch the replay on that at pottytalklive.com, or check out our YouTube channel, The $1 Million Plumber. All right. And you'll see the Potty Talk Lives there. You can check out this episode and other episodes. Hey, while you're there, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. All right. And help us get the word out. I'd appreciate it there. Also, I want to be sure I get my special report into your hands, the 7 must knows to be $1 million plumber. All right. It's free. All you need to do is type free in the comments and I'll get that right out to you. These are 7 principles you got to know. Look, if you're a guy with a plumbing license, a plumbing truck, and a plumbing dream, hey, you got to know these things to really set you on that road to success. All right. And I put it all down for you in this free report. And again, keyword this free. All right. It's free. No strings attached, nothing like that. No gimmicks. Just type free in the comments. I'll get it out to you. So there you have it. All right. I think it's about time to flush this episode of Potty Talk Live. Don't you think? All right. Great time. Hey, before I let you go though, hey, I want to remind you that you are purposefully and wonderfully created. And you were created to do great things. You hear me? You were created to do great things. So when you're out there doing your thing, as always, run like a champion.